why would we do vulnerability management? Now, remember, vulnerability management, like we said before, is defined as we're going through and assessing what you have to see what, to check the boxes like, do we have password policies? Are the devices protected correctly? Do we know if they've been patched recently, or is there things, are we running an old version of something? That's what a vulnerability assessment is going to do. When you do vulnerability management, it's not a one-time, I check the box and never have to do this again. It's part of your internal assessment that you're actively looking at the work that's being done. Now, there's this misconception that if you outsource your services, you no longer have to think about it. It's not your problem. And I'm just going to tell you, you may not like hearing it, but that's absolutely not true. It doesn't matter what vendor tells you that. That's absolutely not true. There's nowhere in the insurance that says, but if your vendor does this of their network, then you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. They expect, even if someone else manages it, this is a vulnerability assessment of your internal infrastructure, of your systems, and they expect you to look at it and review it. And we're seeing this in some providers and some compliance requirements on contracts, like with counties, to say, do you, the nonprofit, not the MSP or IT provider, but do you, the nonprofit, have regular meetings reviewing things, and do you have documentation showing you took action? So this starts to sound just like a board governance committee. That's what they're looking for in their literature, and you're going to see that, in their requirements, and that's going to keep happening. It's going to get more and more rigid, and folks that are in the federal space or in the healthcare space, this is all common for them at this point. This is expected. This is how you have to run your operation. You have to budget time for it. But again, why would you do this? This is your organization. Make sure that you're monitoring the risks that exist in your organization, that there's full transparency about why we're making investments or why we don't need to make investments. You're going to be getting the trust of your vendors, right? You want to earn that trust with your vendors, because you may have like your insurance companies, your underwriters, they want to know that you run your operation a certain way. And doing vulnerability management versus a one-time assessment is an indication to them that you do this, you look at it, it's part of your own internal change management process and quality assurance that you're doing to do that. Unfortunately, the management side of it, also this ongoing look and review, a lot of things that have happened is that these tools have become, as these requirements have occurred, the tools have become more automated. And of course, what we've seen, and this is in the last 18 months, we've seen costs come down dramatically.